We're warmed up now.
Okay, now we're good. Welcome everybody to another episode of the Real Estate Mindset Investor. And I was just chatting here with Sonny. We are at a boot camp for wholesaling. And I know Sonny from Wealth Genius. And a couple of weeks ago, you presented on stage and you presented your business model on self storage. I found that to be very interesting. And today we were chatting about a deal that you have, and I said, you know what, we need to share this with others. So, Sonny, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself and let us know a little bit about that deal?
Yeah, for sure. Like Otto said, my name is Sonny Ballinger. I'm from Niagara Falls, and yeah, thanks for this interview, Otto. So my focus moving forward in real estate is self-storage. So why I like self-storage so much is because you're more in control as the landlord or owner, and finding these existing properties. You can add the existing units, you can add technology so it's easier to manage remotely. And recently we found a deal in the States where someone just wants to get out of the business, and even by him owning and operating this business, we can add values in significant ways. It's close to a military base, which is great for rents and turnover. So every time someone moves out, we can up the rents to market rent. And what's really cool about this deal is the current owner manages, operates everything himself, and he rents 20% of the units for his construction business. So that's not reflected in the revenue coming into this business. Just by removing, sorry, just by adding new revenue, so getting new customers to take over the business, we can increase this deal by $1 million. And we'll be presenting this deal shortly, but just to give you an overview, we're going to be purchasing it for 1.6, adding $1 million in value over 3 years just by doing this strategy.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I've heard about self storage in the past, but it's when you present it out there that something actually stuck. There's a lot of benefits to self storage, and that opened my eyes because, of course, as you may know, I'm focused on multifamily
Definitely.
and apartment buildings. So we have tenants. We deal with tenants, and you talked about the benefits of self storage in comparison to apartment buildings. Why don't you?
Right, for sure. And as much as I love multifamily, I've had single family and still have single family, multifamily. But why I love self storage so much, and I'm happy that I found it so early, is because it doesn't have any toilet issues, any tenant issues. Um, it's a simple building, and you just have to figure out if the market can sustain it. So once you figure out the market, the building and the tenant issues are, I'll say, easy. But where we spend a lot of our time with self-storage is actually finding the deal. So that's why we're here today at this wholesaling course, because we're networking with other wholesalers. We're training cold callers to make calls to sellers and get them to sell directly to us.
I love that. Yes, finding the deal is the most important. I I um, I never knew about real estate investing before, like before 2019, and one of the biggest things was raising capital.
For sure.
And like you have, I had no idea about raising capital, and then after I've been involved now for a few years, I actually realized that raising capital is actually one of the easiest parts of the process.
Right.
The real challenge is finding the deal. So I love this boot camp today because of what you just said. It's wholesaling, and wholesalers actually help us find the deals. So yeah, thanks for sharing that.
You're welcome.
Yeah,
Yeah, thanks for having me,
it's
and
my pleasure,
um,
Sonny.
we'll we'll talk again soon.
Yeah, absolutely. There's maybe one more thing I'd like to touch
For
upon
sure, yeah.
because this is a series about real estate investing, but it's also about mindset.
Right.
And I know that you've like I know that you started out with from your presentation, you started out with residential,
Right.
right? Residential. You had was it multi units?
Yeah, so started out single family, now own some multifamily. Um, but yeah, your question for mindset is
Oh, exactly. So I was trying to get there because I've seen growth in you
thank you, thank you.
in a very short period of time. So there's something driving you, and I'm assuming that you understand concepts of the mind, and there's something driving you, and maybe there's something that you want to suggest to others. Maybe even share what it is driving you, because essentially you probably know, but I've always said it, that once you study yourself more and more, you realize that we're all the same. So we all have the same capacity.
Exactly.
Maybe you could share that a little bit about that.
Yeah, so briefly, when I first did my first property, and first couple of properties after that, I thought I could do all the work myself. And then now joining a group like Wealth Genius, I know that you can be more strategic and acquire bigger properties and make more money from getting more strategic. So that was my drive, was just figuring out the pieces I had to put together to get to those bigger properties. And believe it or not, becomes easier as you get more strategic.
I love that.
Um,
Yes.
so again, I did all the work myself previously, and now growing as a team and understanding how to put that team together, it for me has become easier.
Yeah, that's do what you love, do what you do best, what you love, and let your team do what they do best. And then
Exactly.
the I guess the I don't guess, I know that opportunities are infinite.
Right. And for me, I delegate, taxes, accounting,
Oh well,
budgeting, that kind of
for
stuff, because
sure.
it's not something that I excel at. But I still have an understanding of how to do it because I've done that previously in my smaller properties. But moving forward, having team members help you with that stuff, you can move quicker and more efficiently.
Thank you so much, my
Thanks,
man.
Otto. Appreciate
Appreciate
it.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, I'll talk to you very soon.
sounds good. Thank
Bye
you.
for now.
Bye now.
All right. Me of the